herinneren dat we voor het eerst begonnen met snowboarden?
Wow, ja, dat kan ik me nog wel herinneren. Er was wel echt veel struggle.
Ik denk dat ik iets nieuws wil proberen en dat gevoel weer terug wil krijgen.
Oké, nou, laat me horen.
Ik zat eraan te denken om naar de Alpen te gaan en om te proberen om te splitboarden.
Wow, het gaat wel een challenge worden. Maar ik denk wel dat ik het kan. Laten we het doen.
The moment I made the decision to go for amputation, that of course it's like a scary decision because it's like, yeah, they can't put it back on or something. Like it's pretty, if it's gone, it's gone.
I always had the feeling what my brother does, I had to do as well. He liked snowboarding a lot, and it was something I really liked to watch and to see, but I hated it that I couldn't do it myself. Even though it hurted, and yeah, I hated it because I always felt, or I didn't have enough speed, or I was stuck in the T-bar, or you name it. But he did it, so I wanted to do it as well.
I was born with not two normal legs, so I'm kind of used to it. Looking back now, I don't feel I have been sad for a lot of times. But of course, there have been moments where you're like, yeah, shit, why does this have to be like this? My fibula in my left leg is missing. I don't have any ligaments in my knee, and when I was 6 they broke my leg on 2 places, the upper leg and the lower leg, and they made it 7 centimeters longer. When I was 16 they wanted to do that again, but so there was another doctor who told me, yeah, well, if it's my leg I would go for amputation, and I was like, okay, that's something else. But I looked at the options and saw what other people who made that decision to go for amputation could do. And then, yeah, it was actually an easy decision for me.
When I was 5, we lived on a farm. We were renovating the building, and my father was working outside together with a chauffeur of a big crane. And the crane was driving around the corner backwards. We were not allowed to go outside, but we did. And the crane didn't see me, rode over me, and rode over my hips. Yeah, inside everything what can be broken was broken. And those first 10 days in the hospital were, of course, very hard for my parents. I think they had like 4 or 5 times that the doctor came to them, okay, this time you can say goodbye to him.
We're gonna try splitboarding, and Of course, I do snowboard a lot, but it's mostly training and racing. And yeah, this is really gonna get me out of my comfort zone. And I think it's really cool to try something new in snowboarding.
Then we return to our class.
Coming here to the Dolomites and then splitboarding, I was kind of like, okay, riding is not a problem now, but going up is gonna be challenged and it's gonna be hard. And I was like, oh, do I want this? And like, why did I put myself into this? If your family is not like helping you with it, but then also are too protective and they actually say, yeah, you're disabled and you think you're disabled, then you will be disabled. And I think that's maybe the most important part of all, if your family is thinking out of the box and tries to make it work. For me, it was from never walking again to what I do now is like an extreme difference. But those are really tiny steps in like 20 years. It's like, yeah, experiencing something new and still trying it and see how far we can go. And if it's actually be successful, then it's for me another something like, okay, well, I actually did this. Maybe I would not do it on a daily basis, but if I can splitboard actually, that would be amazing.
I think in snowboarding, adaptive snowboarding is really accepted. And I think that's also something that's really growing the last years. But I also think if people think about adaptive snowboarding, they straight away think about racing, because that's the biggest part of it right now. It's really cool to show that there's more than racing in adaptive snowboarding, and that it's also just going out and having fun. I think that's really important.
There is always something that you can achieve, even in sports or in anything you will grow or like. And I always say, yeah, if you have like something that you can work on or progress in, that's good for the mind and it's good for everything. And for me, it's like falling and getting up. For me, that's like literally what happens, but it can be in a business. It can be on your work, but if you fall, most of the time you learn more than you only have victory or you stay in your comfort zone.
If you work harder for something, you get more out of it. And that's something what still gives me a lot. And I think that's something I learned when I was young, because it wasn't always easy.
I think since kid I'm really curious. I think it's also the downside that I got my accident, but also it brings me where I am now. I really want to see everything and explore all kinds of things, and maybe if I die when I'm 40, I could be happy almost, because I did everything I wanted to do.